Okay, so oh yeah, now we're recording. Wow, that is very fancy. All right. Okay, guys. Well, it is week 7, I think, week 8, week 7. I don't know. We've lost track. But we're doing a great job. And I hope that you guys are finding these super useful. We love doing them. It's good for all of us to just kind of have a quick reminder of just kind of the nuts and bolts and the basics of building our business and doing what we all do, no matter where you are in your business. We're all doing the same basic things over and over and over again. So today we're going to talk specifically about running an effective presentation. And this goes for a group demo, group workshops, whatever you want to call it, also one-on-ones. I mean, obviously, a few things will be a little bit different, but essentially just the overall idea is you want to make sure that these are effective, meaning that you are achieving the goals that you have laid out for that particular event. So for instance, for a group demo and a one-on-one for that matter, the overall goal is to what? It is not to sell product, it is to bring somebody into your business, one way, shape, or form. So that could be you're signing them up as a preferred client, or ideally you're signing them up as a consultant. The products are going to sell themselves, so you don't really have to spend a ton of time talking about individual products, pricing, that kind of stuff. And we'll get kind of more to that nitty-gritty later. But really the overall idea, the reason why we suggest that you have 8 to 10 group demos a month and a handful of one-on-ones and any variation thereof, Andrew and I were actually just talking about that earlier today. But essentially because you want to get in front of 30 to 40 ideally, but at least 30 new people every single month that you're sharing our Arbonne story with. So that could be about the business or the products. And if you continue to do that consistently, month in, month out, you will consistently build your business. It's just is a numbers game. It just is what it is. I mean, there's no real science behind it. It just has been proven time and time and time again. So again, kind of, going back to the group presentation or even the one-on-one, the reason why we're meeting with those people is to get them introduced to the business, introduce the products and what we do, and then bring them in onto your team. Again, and that could be in the form of a preferred client or a consultant that's ready to launch, and then we'll book their own demos. So I'm going to split it out into 2 different things, and hopefully this won't be a very long training. There might be time for some questions. So Andrea, if you have questions as we go. And of course, some of you guys, hopefully a lot of you guys are watching this later and you're not live. So if you have questions, comment on the post. I'll post it on Facebook, so you can comment there and I'll respond, or Andrea or Tracy, whoever will respond. And then just like to keep these pretty interactive and fun, and to make sure that you're getting the information that you need from these trainings. So first, let's kind of start with how best to run a group demonstration. And Andrea, you've done plenty of these as well, so feel free to chime in as I go. So even before you walk into the door, so you have called a friend, ring, ring, hi, can you book this demo for me? Yes, great, it's gonna be next Saturday, awesome. So before you even go to their house and walk into that demo, you need to do a few things first to kind of prepare yourself. For one, hopefully if you reached out to the hostess no sooner, or how do I say that? At least 24 hours before their demo. So if their demo is tomorrow at 6, hopefully you've reached out to them by today at 6, and just kind of set the expectation with your hostess that if the event starts at 6, you're going to be there by 5:30. You just need kind of a table, a kitchen table's best, coffee table, whatever. You need a little bit of space to put the product out. Ideally, you have a little space kind of off to the side where you can be closing up orders and things like that. That's a little bit more private. And let them know, depending on the type of event that you're having, you might need a few things, like maybe crock pots we suggest for facial demos. If you're doing a color consultation, see if they have a little desk mirror or something they can use. And that varies, but just kind of letting them know, I'm going to be there at this time. We're going to set up. If your event starts at 6 o'clock, I'm going to start talking at 6:15. So if you know that you have people coming that tend to run a little bit late, maybe shoot them a text tonight and let them know that we will try to stay on time. And I've told you 90 minutes, so we're going to be in and out in 90 minutes. So that's kind of the beforehand. Then the day of, you're going to pack your bag. You're going to make sure that you have your catalogs, your order forms, any of the, a script that you use, any other. I have like a pack that looks this, a brochure that I just always have with me. And it just has all of our just stuff that we always kind of have to refer to. It has our free gift list. I have the pricing guide in here. I have this quick sheet about income in case someone gets really excited about the business opportunity. Plus it's on my lap boards as well. Lap boards, you don't want to forget those. And then obviously you want to make sure that you have all the product that you need. Now, when you're packing your bag when it comes to product, we suggest not to have more than one bag of product. And that's why a lot of us have those really big 31 bags, because we can fit a ton of product in them. But there's a couple of different reasons for that. One, this again, because our goal for a group demonstration is to get somebody to sign up in your business, the hostess is kind of the low-hanging fruit in that equation. So if we're coming to someone's house with bags and bags of product and we're having to take several trips to the car, subconsciously that's showing this hostess that it's really hard to do our job and that this business is going to be really difficult in some way. So we want to avoid that as much as possible. So if you're walking in with one bag, it makes our business look as simple as it really is, because this really is very, very simple. So just bring the bare minimum of what you need for whatever this presentation is, right? So if it's just a general presentation, you need one RE9 set and one of the 30-day to healthy living set. You don't necessarily need to bring both boxes of fizzies, both bags of protein. You can kind of talk through that, right? And you can show them a picture of what the whole set would be. But if it's easier just to take one bag of protein, one box of fizzies, you can do that. And then I usually, we suggest that you then bring, so you have those two main things, because the two main sets that we always talk about. And then you want to bring a couple of your favorite items. So for me, I always bring a CC cream. I always bring a mascara. And then it might be something like right now, I'm going to bring something from the holiday line. So I've been taking the Foot Care Duo, or you can take, the hand wash and the hand lotion, whatever is your personal favorite. Because I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. And then of course, that just reminded me, you do want to make sure that you're bringing the Rescue Renew scrub and wash, because you want to be able to do the sink demo, right, when people are kind of getting there, signing up. And I'll talk about that in a minute. So you're prepared your bag, you're ready to go, you show up at the house. You're going to set everything up in about 10 minutes. Again, just kind of brief your hostess that, as your friends start coming, I'm going to, introduce me. I'm going to be kind of chit-chatting with them. I personally don't like it to be obvious that I'm the Arbonne person, right? I mean, ideally, you are, everyone's mingling in the first 10, 15 minutes or so, and then you get up to start talking, and people are like, oh, I didn't even realize you're the Arbonne girl. Now, when you're doing the sync conversations, people are going to start to know that, but because we really want to come off like we're just here with our girlfriends. We're having a great time and we're chit-chatting, and it's kind of no pressure. You don't want to be like, bam, I'm the Arbonne lady, and look at all this great Arbonne stuff. And that just is not really what we do. That's not really our culture. So as people are coming in, your hostess will ideally kind of introduce you. You're going to walk people over to the sink. You're going to show them how to use the scrub and the wash. And it's not necessarily to get them to use the product. It's giving you time to have a really quick one-on-one conversation with this guest. And you can find out where they work, if they're married, if they have children, if they've heard of the product before, if they've used the product before, if they know anybody else that has the product. And those are not all, I'm not going to fire those questions at them, but they'll start to give you that information as you kind of continue with the conversation. And all you're doing, you're not really responding to those things at that point, but you're just kind of filing it away so that if they say something like, and I always ask this, if I'll say, oh, well, where do you work? And they'll say, I am a bank teller. I'll be like, oh my gosh, don't you love that? That would be so fun. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to be like, no, I hate it. It's awful because of XYZ, because very few people love their work. There are a few, but most people, if you ask them and you're like, oh my gosh, you must love that, they'd be like, I don't love it. I mean, it pays the bills and it's okay. And that's going to perk something, right? You're going to file that away. Be like, okay, maybe not 100% happy with the job. That could be a prospect to talk to about the business. Maybe they have children. Okay, good. You're going to file that away. All these things. Then the presentation is going to start. Again, really try to start them within 15, 20 minutes at most. I know that's really hard. I have the hardest time because I'm a social butterfly. I would love to just chit chat and talk about all, because it's going to be usually a group of women friends, and their kids might go to school together. So they're talking about school and sports and all that. And that's great. And I get into it too, but we're not really there to kind of chit chat and just sit around with a bunch of girls drinking wine. We are really there to share some information. So the hardest part is getting them to sit down and shut up, basically, because they'll all sit together, right? Am I right? They'll all sit together, and then they're like still like chit-chatting, and it's like, okay, pay attention to me. So the way I found that is pretty effective is you just kind of say, you guys, I just want to respect everybody's time. Let's just get us started. I really promise I'm only going to talk to you for about 30 minutes or so. It's going to be really fun, interactive. If you're doing a facial, let them know everyone's getting a facial. That's really exciting. But I really love to respect everybody's time. Let's just get started, and then we can always stay after and chit chat as long as we want to. But let's just kind of make our way to the table. So fill up a glass of wine if that's what you have, your plate, whatever, and let's sit down. So they're going to sit. I also suggest getting your hostess as involved as possible with your demonstration. So maybe you're using them as the guinea pig. Maybe you're having them pass out product for you or with you, whatever that is, because again, we're going to talk to her about joining our business, and we want to show her how simple it really is to do what we do. And then she's going to, at the end of the party, she's like, all I did was hang out with my friends and share some product. Exactly. And you can actually make some money doing that. Isn't that exciting? So you're going to go through the presentation, which is a whole nother training that I'm not really going to go into. And then you want to, you're going to share your why story. You're going to go through the presentation, and then you're going to kind of come back to the business. So in your why story, you're really talking about the business and how great it is, why you started, where you're going with the business. You're already kind of, again, piquing people's interest. You're not really going to share a ton of information, but you just want them to be thinking enough like, okay, that sounds interesting. Money, travel. Okay, I could do that. And she's home, hanging out with her son. That's kind of cool. Okay, that's interesting. Then you're doing the presentation. Now at the end of the presentation, allow yourself about 10 minutes. You're going to kind of revert back to the business. Now you guys have seen what I do. The only way, there's my helper.
I'm her son, by the way. I heard son, so I came in.
It's Andrea. You know Andrea. She knows you. Okay. So you want to allow a few minutes at the end, about 10 minutes. You want to just kind of circle back to the business. So you're going to say, I've shared a lot about the products with you. I hope that you found a few things that you like. I also mentioned that there is a business opportunity attached to Arbonne. As I've been presenting information, if this seems like something that interests you, please let me know. Or if you can think of anybody that you think that might benefit from something like this, please let me know. I build my business on meeting new people every day. And then you kind of go through and there's more to that. And then you kind of go through the ways to save, which that is the close. Like this is the biggest part, second biggest part. First part is the envelope game, which we'll talk about. But at this point, you're really kind of wrapping everything up with a big red bow, right? So again, I've shared with you some about my business. I don't know if this makes sense for you or not, but really the best way to get the best discount for the next year or so is to sign up as a consultant. You get 50% off the special value packs, which I've mentioned, because of course that'll be part of the presentation. Either the skincare or the nutrition or the cosmetic set. You're also going to get 35% off retail for the remainder of the year. And then if you happen to share this with somebody and they happen to purchase it, you're going to get a commission. So it's kind of a no-brainer. Right now for the month, so it's October. So right now for the month of October, if you buy a little bit of product, which we know you're going to do anyway because you love it, you're going to end up getting the registration waived. And then at that point, I have my lap board that has basically this on the back of it. And then if you were interested in really the business piece of it, go ahead and flip your lap board over, take a look. This is and I don't spend a ton of time on this. And here's why. So you'll just kind of see like the average, time it takes to get people to that particular success level, average income. You do get a white Mercedes at a certain point, which is pretty awesome, right? You do get to travel over the world. Amazing. And I just kind of live very kind of airy. And guarantee you, if you have 6 ladies that turn this over and say something, sorry, hold on. that flip this over and take a look at it, you're going to get some questions. People are going to start looking at it and be like, wait a minute, is that a monthly income or annual? And what? So it only takes like 3 years to get to here. And so every time you get those questions, you don't have to spend a ton of time answering them then, because we're going to do that later. And again, because we're trying to keep the whole presentation within about 45 minutes. So you just kind of answer them, but then you're kind of filing this way, like, this person's asking really good questions. I'm really going to talk to her about the business when she comes to close out her order. So, okay, the first way to save is to sign up as a consultant. The next great way to save is to sign up as a preferred client. So, and then you go through the preferred client benefits. But really my favorite way to save people money is to have you get a few friends over. You probably had a lot of fun tonight, right? And they're all going to say like, yeah, no one has a terrible time, right? They're all going to say yes. And then you're going to say, wouldn't it be great if you got a few friends over and we did this exact same thing at your house? And because this hostess over here, Susie, she's getting 80% off. She's getting free shipping. She's going to get some free product. And she had an opportunity to hang out with you guys and drink some wine and chit chat and have a good ladies' night. So that'd be great. And wouldn't you love to do that as well? And so those are kind of the 3 ways to save. Now, there is an envelope game. Andrea, I don't know if you want to talk about it much. I'm just starting to kind of reintroduce that into my clothes because I mistakenly wasn't using that for a long time. And I'm here to tell you, if you aren't using it, it's just such a waste. I mean, it's such a disservice to your business. So do you want to share a little bit about how the envelope game works?
Sure. The envelope game is a booking game, essentially. And the instructions are in our script. And it does feel a little awkward at first if it's something that you haven't done, because you feel like, oh, this is kind of a corny game. But you guys, the benefit of the envelope game is to help you to book your calendar, because like Shannon said, when you are hosting a presentation, number one, you want to find somebody to join your business in some way, shape, or form. Hopefully that's going to be as a business builder for you. But if not, hopefully a preferred client or something. But really, the second biggest thing that you want to be able to do is to be able to book more shows out of that one show that you're doing. So the envelope game, you have a bunch of, like, I have a bunch of white envelopes and inside of the envelopes I have, half of them have one page that says,
keep going.
Okay. Half of them has a piece of paper that says, congratulations, you won a free gift. And the other one says, congratulations, you won a free gift, and you're going to host a presentation. And so what I do is I hand all the envelopes out, like the white envelope that Shannon's holding up. They all have numbers on them. And I tell people, don't open the envelope, just hold it. I'm going to tell you exactly what's inside the envelope. This isn't anything crazy. You're not going to have to, go do anything wild. And then I tell them exactly what's in the envelope, and I let them know that it's like Deal or No Deal, that game show, and that they have an opportunity to take a chance and open up the white envelope and see what's inside of it, or they can exchange it for, and I use bright pink envelopes, a bright pink envelope. And in the bright pink envelope, it basically says that they are committing to hosting a presentation. And yeah, so they're like that. So if they want to exchange it, then I take the white envelope from them and I give them the bright pink envelope, or whatever color envelope you use, or whatever it is. And the thing is that if they commit that yes, they are going to host a presentation, then we put that on the books that night. Yep. So that way you are leaving that presentation and you already have another one booked. And then I have little, like, you can put, a really cool little sample pack together as a free gift, or if you have any of the miniatures from the holiday line, you can wrap up one of those and use that as a free gift for the envelopes that say, congratulations, you won a free gift. It doesn't have to be anything huge. But also in the pink envelope that says they are going to host a show, it usually has, like, the form has 3 different products that they can choose from for when they do host their show. And then that's the free gift, which is a full-size product. So that's the free gift that they are going to get when they host the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be like basically like cutting these out and like put, you know, 1 or 2 in that, or like maybe like cut out one of these 3 cents and put that in the envelope.
Yep. Put it in there.
And I will tell you guys, so realistically, when I have started to kind of reintroduce this into my business, you will get the blank stare. You will get the like, what? And it's really awkward. But part of our business is getting out of our comfort zone and just being okay with awkward. And it's okay. The more practice that you do it, the better it feels. And just know that if you don't do the envelope game, chances are likely, probably like 80% of the time, I would even say 90. If I even thought about my own experience, 80 to 90% of the time, you're going to leave that demo without something else booked. Now, you'll still be following up with those customers and maybe get something booked after the fact, but you're already there. I mean, think about how easy that is and how time efficient that is to just start booking out your calendar when you're sitting right there with the people and you're getting them excited about it. So highly suggest reintroducing it. If you do get the blank stares and nobody goes for your envelope, which again is going to happen every single time, you can just say, so like to Andrew's point, you can have like a really cool full-size free gift that you just kind of hang on to. You're like, okay, well, I know everyone's a little timid and we just need one person to start. So the first one that takes an envelope or that books a party, I'll give you 2 free gifts. So you're going to get the free gift from potentially the envelope, plus you're going to get this. I mean, do whatever you can use your own incentives, do whatever you can to get it exciting. And then if you still don't get anything, whatever, it's fine. Because, and we're going to talk about the close now at this point. So thank you for jumping in. I know I didn't warn you that I was going to call on you to do that. So we're just rolling with it. Okay, so now we get to the close, which is my favorite part. So everyone's shopped, everyone's having a good time. Now you're going to step away. So say we're at a kitchen table, right? You are going to step away, which again takes practice because it feels more comfortable and it's more natural that people are going to just start coming to you with orders. We're going to pass their orders down the table or whatever. But what happens when you go into a more private area is then you can talk to them again about joining the business, hosting for you, and they might have been a little timid or shy to say something in front of all of their friends. But once you get them one-on-one, you can revert back to the conversation that you had to sync, and you can say, you know, I see here that you have, you know, like maybe a handful of things you want to buy. You're already interested in signing up as a preferred client. I just want to let you know, you know, for a couple dollars more, let's just assume all these incentives aren't happening this month. You know, for just a couple dollars more, you can upgrade that the preferred client into a consultant, get an even deeper discount on all these products that you like. And then I can show you how you can make a little bit of money. You mentioned at the sync that your son is in comp soccer and how expensive that is to do all the tournaments and the travel. Wouldn't it be great if you can work your Arbonne business? You can do it from those tournaments with all those other moms and dads that you're sitting around with for the entire weekend, sitting in a hotel room with, whatever, and maybe earn a little bit extra every month just to cover the travel of your son's soccer. Wouldn't that be awesome? And it's not adding any time to what you're already doing. I mean, who's going to say no to that? That's just so perfect, right? But you can only have that conversation if you're kind of sitting, you know, someplace off to the side where it's a little bit more quiet, a little bit more comfortable, and that you've already asked those questions in the beginning. So now do you see how it kind of all kind of comes together? So again, we're kind of just, again, tying a red bow around the entire evening. So, you know, maybe so let's say that you had 6 people total, including the hostess. Ideally, you've now converted the hostess to a consultant and maybe one of their friends. And that's really cool too, because with the hostess, you can say, well, you like, look, your party's already going to do, let's say it's $750 in volume. If you signed up now as a consultant, you're going to get all the great hostess rewards. Plus, we're going to put all this under you. You're going to get a commission on it. Plus, you're already almost going to be in qualification for the first level of success in our business. And then let's meet another time and we can talk about how we can continue to build your business. But let's just do it. Why wouldn't you do that? And again, you're going to circle around because you've had conversations with her. You know why the business would make sense for her. You're going to mention it at that time. You know, your husband's working overtime. You want him to be home more. This is what this business can afford for you and your family. And I will say, I don't typically go big with people in these settings. Go big, like I don't talk about someday you could be making $50,000 a month and traveling all over the world, because we're very comfortable talking like that because we live in this environment. But for most people, they can't even comprehend that. They don't have that vision yet. That's like, they're going to think work, work, work. That sounds really unattainable. That sounds like I'm never going to be able to do that. So in these first few conversations I'm having with people about the business, I'm really only thinking, just get them to district, get them thinking about an extra $500 a month, an extra $1,000 a month at most. And that's going to get them excited and signed up. You've got plenty of time to then coach and train them and talk to them about going big and going to nation. But really, again, at this point, the whole goal is just to get them to sign up. So now ideally, you've got the hostess to sign up. You hopefully have her handful. So like if there's 6 total, including her, you've got her, maybe one of her friends is going to join her signing up. And then you've got 3 to 4 new preferred clients. So that's 6 new people. Clearly, I did not pass math today. You got 6 new people to join your business in one demo. Like that is, and of course that's best case scenario, but that is really the goal here, right? I mean, that's why we talk about the demos. And that's why it's so important to get a little bit uncomfortable, pick up the phone, call as many people as you have to book your calendar. Now I'm going to roll through a one-on-one a little bit, just very quickly, because we're already at almost 30 minutes, but it's much the same, except for that you don't have the group part of it. So you're going to meet with somebody one-on-one. You're still going to manage this entire process, this entire event, meeting. You're in control. This is your business. Stay a business person, stay a businesswoman, right? So what happens so much is that we go into either demos or one-on-ones and we just start chit-chatting. I do it. I can talk to the wall for hours. I'm a chit-chatter. I have the gift of gab. It's very hard for me to stay on task. So I've had to learn to do that. But it's so important when we tell people, can I grab you coffee? And it's about 20, 30 minutes. I'm going to share some information with you and see what you think. We really want to, honor that. We want to respect their time, and we don't want to spend, 17 minutes talking about kids, and then you've only got 3 minutes to talk about the business. That's not what we want. So they meet, again, get there early. I talked about this when we did the 30 and 30, but I'll just roll through it really quickly. You want to get there early, prepare yourself. You want to be there early so that you can buy their coffee because you offered to do that. So you want to make sure that that's not awkward, where you're running late and they've already got their coffee and then it's like, oh, this is weird. And then don't buy your coffee and then be sitting down already. Like, be waiting. I mean, again, this is like a courtesy, right? And it's just professional courtesy. If you've offered to buy someone coffee, be waiting like at the counter. Don't already, because then it's awkward. Then you got to get up and get the line again. It's weird. So just be waiting kind of by the door, by the counter, get the coffee, sit down, and you'll let them know, again, I really want to respect your time. So I'm going to spend about 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes or so. We're going to be chit-chatting a little bit. I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to share a little bit of information about Arbonne, and then we'll just kind of see where it goes. If we have time at the end to stay and chat a little bit longer, I'd love to catch up with you. I want to hear what's happening with the family, but I just want to respect everyone's time and kind of get this piece of it out of the way, which makes them feel comfortable too, right? Because you're already kind of putting them at ease. Like, you've just given them kind of the agenda, the order of the conversation. So now they just get to sit there and answer questions. Easy peasy. So first of all, I do have my little sheet, which I attached, but again, much like the sync thing with the group demo, you want to start asking a few questions, especially this someone that you don't know very well, just to, again, be listening for ways in which Arbonne can help them to solve a problem. And that could be their health, their skin, or potentially their finances, ideally their finances. So, we always ask, tell me a little bit about you, give me kind of the 1-minute rundown of your life. They'll share with you, I'm married, got these kids, this is where I work, whatever. When they mentioned work, again, don't you love that? That sounds so fun. They're going to say, no, it's not that great. And then you're just going to be like, oh, okay, interesting. And then you're going to keep letting them talk. So the key with all of these, I don't think I've said this before, is to be more interested in what they're saying than being worried about being interested. You want to be, how am I saying that right? Be interested, not interesting. I guess that's the easiest way to say it, right? See, I'm overcomplicating. I'm adding too many words. That's what I do. So when they're talking at you, you're just going to kind of like, okay, great. Just nod, let them download as much as they can, because all that information you're going to use. And then ask them the killer question. And this is what gets everybody. And you can ask this too in the group presentation, which that's part of the script in the close, is ask them the 5-year question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? If you had a magic wand, what in time and money were of no object, where do you see yourself? What do you see yourself doing? Are you traveling? Are you home with your children? Are you living in the same house? Have you moved? Are your kids in private school? Whatever that could be, they're going to say it to you. And then that's the information that you use to start to talk about Arbonne. Because we all know we can talk for hours about Arbonne, but if it's not the part of the business that they're going to be interested in, then it's falling on deaf ears. Sorry. Oh, okay. What was it? Okay, so then you're going to roll through, and again, I already did the 30 and 30, which is the one-on-one conversation. Share Arbonne. Okay, so the close with a one-on-one. A lot of times what's going to happen is they're just going to buy their ASCP and be done, which it's awesome, right? And when I started my business, I fell into that trap. And then you become just a product seller, which is very comfortable and easy for us all to get into at some point. But really, you have to remember the whole idea of a one-on-one is to find a business builder. So as you're going through, you're asking them, are you a 1, 2, or a 3? Are you ready to sign up right now? Are you thinking about signing up, but you know you're really interested in product? Or do you know probably the business is not for you at this time, but you're still really interested in product? Based on that answer, you're going to book your next appointment / demo either way. So if they're ready to sign up that day, then you say, great, do you have an extra 20 minutes? We can stay and we can get you registered right here. Get your starter order done. We're going to book out the demos, and I'm going to have a piece of really quick homework for you. Or if you can't do it today, we'll schedule another time, or we'll get on the phone later today, whatever it is. If they're kind of interested in the business but interested in product, then you say, great, the easiest way for you to show you what I do for a living and to show you how simple it is to invite a few friends over, do the whole spiel again. You're going to get all the hostess rewards. Your friends are going to love it, yada, yada. Let's book that. Or third, they're not interested in the business, but interested in product. Great. The easiest way to save the most amount of money is to have a few friends over, blah, blah, blah. So again, every one-on-one, you should be leaving with another appointment sooner rather than later. And you're just kind of going from there. And then hopefully at their demos, then maybe at that point, again, you can upgrade the hostess into a consultant, or at least find maybe some business builders in their network of friends. So that is essentially kind of a really quick rundown of how both of those presentations should run. I really just want to reiterate that the most important part of any of these conversations or presentations, whatever, is that you're finding business builders. That is how you build a business with Arbonne. You have to duplicate. And you can be the best product seller that we've got out there, and you could be bonusing your district every month on your own just by selling product, and that's very easy to do. But you're not going to go anywhere else from there. And that can get very frustrating. So, just remind yourself and practice every day, every demo, every one-on-one, that you're always asking for the business first. And the worst they're going to say is no, and that's okay. But you're still going to get a group demo booked out of it. Worst case scenario, they're going to sign up as a preferred client and buy a special Arbonne pack. Arbonne special value pack. Sorry. I'm trying to talk really fast to get this over by the time the thing stops. But you don't know if they're going to join your business unless you ask for it first. And Andrea mentioned this in last week's training. It's really hard to go backwards. If you start by asking them about the product and buying a skincare set, and they say no to that, you're never going to be able to go back and ask them to join your business. It's just trust me, I've tried. It's a very awkward conversation. But okay, so you don't like the product, but would you love to do this business? That's going to be weird. So just do yourself a favor, ask about the business first, let them say no, let them uncover their objection, which is a whole other training. You will learn to overcome it, because that's what we coach and train you to do. And then you just kind of get them through the funnel, work them down the line, and get them to join your business one way or another. So I hope that was helpful. Andrea, do you have anything else to add?
No, I thought that was awesome. You hit all the points.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I feel like I've been talking all day. But it's good. Yep. It's all good stuff.
It was really, really good. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to stop this recording for now.